This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys, that's boys with a Z, at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
So far, the crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans.
Well, it's boys' night out.
Hello, welcome to the club. I'm your host, Mars, and this is Season 4, Episode 2 of the Upper 90 Club, a roundtable podcast where five friends and a new friend discuss the Columbus Crew. On this episode, we're going to review the action-packed 1-0 away win that the Crew had last night against Caleb Porter's Revolution. We're going to...
Tip of the hat!
We're gonna tip our hats to some players in our thoughts and players section, and we're gonna go through the run club. We're gonna do our predictions and review how we did. So close. And but first, we've got Mr. Bone from the Bone and Beam podcast at 97.1 on with us. Honored to have you here. Also with me are Ben Mortray and Haas. Say hey everyone.
Hello.
Howdy.
So, Bone, we're thrilled to have you here. We were just talking beforehand, and I had to just start the show so that we could we could record us talking about it, because that's why we're here. Want to just kind of hear what you're up to, but also want to make sure we talk about the pizza tournament as well, because that's
you brought it up and it's all we can think about.
Top of mind, and I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about it until I know how things play out. So, what's up, man?
Well, hey, thanks for having me on. I'm glad to be here. It's by far the only podcast I've ever been on with 5 hosts. So that's you already are in a very unique spot there, and I'm gratified to be a part of it. But yeah, no, this is, I'm thrilled to be on, actually. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, yeah, we do have with, Bone and Beam United, that's our soccer podcast we do for the Fan, myself and Brandon Beam, mostly every week. Some weeks one of our kids throws up the day of, and then we don't end up getting it done. But, we record that right after he gets done doing the morning show. So he's like he's dead tired. I come in, I'm like, hey, buddy, how's it going? Like, I just woke up. I've had coffee. I'm like seeing people for the first time. So that's our little dynamic that we have. And then, I host Common Man and T-Bone in the afternoons on The Fan. And we are doing Pizza Madness starting, I don't know, when does the podcast go out? When's the first?
Tomorrow morning.
Okay, so when you hear this podcast, that'll be the first day of Pizza Madness. We're doing it for a couple of weeks. We put 64 local pizza places and a couple of chain places or like regional, like Flyers, Donato's, a couple of those spots that started here. But yeah. And then we've thrown them in the mix, and we figured we would probably get some heated debate. And, we really don't like doing heated debate about sports topics, but pizza, absolutely. Like, the lower the stakes, and then the more absurd of an argument we can have over it, that's where we live. Like, I don't really want to get into the arguments that actually matter, because those make me sad. But pizza, easy. I can argue pizza all day.
This is a 64 team tournament, single elimination of pizza places.
Right.
And how do they win?
Yeah.
How does a team win?
So we're voting. Look,
Like hold a vote on the website.
Let me pull the Wizard of Oz curtain back here. This is in part an excuse for us to be able to talk pizza whenever we feel like it for 2 weeks, as opposed to talking about like, hey, the guy at the combine ran at 4:5:40. What's up with that? Like, we don't. I don't like to do that. So that's one reason we did this. The other reason, pure data grabbing, like trying to learn about our audience, but also like to have fun with it. But like, we want to see how many people interact with us on this. Quite honestly, like I don't mind sharing that with you guys, but like, yeah, that's kind of what we thought is like, let's have fun and let's just see how many people get involved with something like this. When I used to work in music radio, we would take requests, and whenever the local bands had a song on our station for like 3 weeks straight, it was like every time you answered the phone or got an email, it was like about that band. And I thought, well, that's kind of how pizza places are, right? Like they're a little bit like your local band, like you really identify with that. And so I wanted to give Columbus something to argue about, I guess.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
And also, a lot of the local musicians deliver the pizzas.
Well,
yes,
that's a good call too, right?
Total crossover.
Yeah. So, nice. But yeah, so that's so you can vote on it on mostly on our social media. Man and Bone 971 on Twitter /X. Yes, sadly we're still on there, but
it's fine.
Where the people are for now. Hopefully, I don't know, whatever. But also on our Instagram, 971 The Fan on Instagram. And then like we put polls on our YouTube channel. We kind of stick Facebook page. There's going to be polls. So you can kind of, wherever you interact with the fan, there'll be a poll, I guess would be the best way to say that.
We'll have them text you. I'll just send out your
personal texts are great.
Yeah. Voice text.
Do you see any potential matchups where families have previously split over pizza and now they're going to meet in this tournament and come back together? Because isn't there some history between like Tommy's and
Planks?
Ben is
Iaconos.
Stop saying Planks.
Crazy.
I hear you saying
Parsons.
I hear you saying Planks. I don't know Planks. I don't.
Planks is one of them. Another one is
No.
What?
I've never been
Sweet sauce.
Well,
Sweet sauce.
Your mouth.
Okay.
It's awesome. Oh, it's Tommy is
Donato's and Granddad's is a family split as well.
Oh, is it really?
I grew up playing soccer with the owner of Granddad's. He was my best friend all throughout elementary, middle school, and high school.
Is that down in Athens too, Ben?
What?
Is that Granddad's?
No.
Different.
Nope.
Different. Okay, and then just quick shout out, Benny's. One of my friends growing up runs that place
up in Marysville. That's where my neck of the woods. Yeah, it's a good spot for sure. Like we had a lot of different places that, you know, we asked for people to put. We had like a website up on our website. We had like a page up for maybe 2 days, and it had over like 1,000 submissions.
No doubt,
right?
No doubt. These are all good, man.
So that was like trying to. And there were some that we were like really surprised. There's a pizza place called Stad's.
Yeah.
That's, I believe, out in Gahanna. I think they have 2 locations on the east side, Gahanna and Blacklick.
I'm in Blacklick, yes.
Okay, so you're familiar. I had never heard of it. And then one of the guys from the station went over there and checked it out. He's like, dude, it's crazy legit. Like
they have
he was
band.
Really about it. Oh, do they?
It's like a hole in the wall joint by the water plant. But
Okay.
I got that confused with, because I just had for the first time Sexton's. So I had them confused, and I was like, Snatch is all right.
Yeah.
Well, they have one in Gahanna now.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was familiar with the one out west on the west side. But yeah, that Stad's place got a ton of votes, and we were like, all right, well, it's got a lot of votes. JT's Pizza and Wings got the most votes, I think, in the the pre-voting. So we made them
I want to try that.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean,
is Bob Silver still doing Yellow Brick Cause? Do you know that?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, and then
my wife was just at Yellow Brick today. I had never had it.
Yeah,
it's good.
She brought them home, and I like cold. It was good. And then
was it deep dish or
it was their regular. Like we just had them do like a pepperoni, but they do. Yeah, I saw on their website they do like the Chicago style.
They bought some like family recipe. I don't know the whole story, but yeah, it's really good. I also really like Meister's deep dish. You got to wait an hour, but it is good.
That's a great deep dish, and I think that's going to be kind of, not to get too analytical on pizza. It's a soccer podcast, but
today
I'll just say. I think that's going to be the challenge too, when some places offer something like that, where, you know, you go to Tommy's, it's like there's one style of pizza they pretty much offer, right?
Yep.
You go to some of these other places, they're like, oh, well, did you mean the deep dish or did you mean the,
Sexton's,
you know, and so you
like
have
that.
you kind of have to incorporate all that. I feel like. So,
well, Hound Dogs has the
absolutely
the garlic crust or
Smoking
whatever.
Joe's.
Yeah,
Yep.
Smoking
Turbo
Joe's.
crust,
yeah,
right.
And
so how many of these pizza places between you guys, your tournament, like between the two of you, have you had every one?
Mike claims to have had 51 of them. I haven't counted all of them. I would say I'm good for more than half, just by like recognition.
Yeah.
But there have been a few that I just went and had. There's a place called Luigi's out in Hilliard. I went and had that Friday night because they're matched up with another one that I found out, or I had recently in the last year, called Manelli's, which is in Hilliard, or Wilson Road area, kind of west side, near west side. But so then that one I was like, well, I can go get this and then I'll have a matchup. I have a very good understanding of that matchup. So, and then some of them I'm not going to lie, unless the voting comes in crazy on one side or the other, we're probably going to just go like, all right, that's my favorite. And then voting seems to be kind of split or fairly close. We get the ultimate veto power.
It's good to be the king. So
I had this idea of like 64 pizzas and it's just you in there like taking a bite of each, like, okay. And by like the end, you have to do that wine thing where you take a bite, you chew it, and you're like, okay, cool. And you have to spit it out or you'll die.
We two thoughts on that. One is that's absolutely one of the other reasons we did this was to shamelessly get people to be like, hey, do you mind if we drop a pizza off? It's like, what?
We gotta do that.
I mean, if you bring it, we can't, we are not asking for it, but if they bring it, we don't have to turn it down. But then I have not too long ago done a bourbon tasting where we went to one of the distilleries and did the
Did you go with the Drams and Jams guys?
No, I didn't. Although I've been on their podcast. And those guys, they're great.
They're my buddies.
Super good guys. Good guys. Them. But I didn't realize the importance of what you're talking about, where you've got to dump some of that out, because the first couple pours they gave us, I was like, I'm not wasting this. I'm getting it right from the barrel. And then by like the third of 8, I was like, I can't stand
I'm wasting this.
No, I was like, I couldn't taste. I mean, I could taste things, but I was like, they're all great, and I just
it gets thumbs up.
And then there were guys there that were like pros who had done this before, and they were like taking just the tiniest little sips and maybe a swirl, a little nose, and then they dump most of it. And I was like, I can't.
Yeah, that's a life. That's a life without joy, though.
Right.
So
we were being driven around too. Just so we're clear, there's a big that's the way to do it. If you're going to do it, you should.
And then quick on Bone and Beam United. You guys, it's like crew focused, right? Because it's But you kind of touched the league and then also
EPL.
So Beam's kind of funny because he grew up in Dayton or Centerville, Dayton area, and he grew up a FIFA kid playing the video game, and then that led him to a Premier League fandom, and then when he came to work at the Fan and got out of college and stuff, he had known of the crew and kind of would go to a game here or there, but didn't really have the history. And then he met me. I'm a guy who's, been there pretty much since day one. And certainly by 2005, that was when I had, I was married. I had was out on my own and had season tickets. And so I've been going to games regularly for the better part of 20 years. So when he met me, he's like, I barely know anything about the crew. And I'm like, good. I barely know anything about the Premier League. So let's kind of, when the Premier League stuff comes up, he handles more of that. And I've gotten more into the Premier League because of this.
Who's your team?
Well, that I hate to. God, I really hate being the person like. Actually, here's a funny story. Sunderland is my team. Sunderland Till I Die. I worked with a guy many years ago at a radio station. All my stories go back to radio station.
Yeah.
But my buddy George Rockcliffe came over from the UK, worked at our radio station, and he asked me that very same question. I said, I don't really have one. And I kind of threw out there, do you remember that movie? I think, was it called Goal? It was I don't know if it was based on a true story. It's about a kid from like LA that gets picked up by Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Right. It's a cheesy, crappy, but it was like the best soccer thing I'd ever seen at the time. And I thought it was really neat. And they got some good footage from actual stadiums. So I barely mentioned him. Like, I just watched this movie about Newcastle United. And he goes, oh, absolutely not. I'm from Sunderland. And I had no clue about that rivalry. So then we would go to bars and watch games. And so he left to go back to England many years ago, but I've stayed with Sunderland ever since. So we're fighting to come up. It's been like a couple of years now. We've just been stuck in the championship after being mired in the third division for 4 years out of nowhere.
Was Altidore on Sunderland?
Yes. Many years ago. Yeah, I think it was like not long after I started kind of following them was when he signed up there. I probably got into them.
2010.
Yeah, I think I probably found out about them in 2007, 2008, became aware, became a fan. So, one of my good buddies, Jason Nicholson, he is a diehard Newcastle fan, but he knows a few people who are big Sunderland people who are like the North America, at one time led the North American supporters group for the entire country, or, for the US, Canada. Right. They hosted meetups. So he's gone over with them, and they've gone to both stadiums and done all kinds of stuff. So he tells me all the time about how great it is over there. Someday I'll get there. But, so what I'm not rooting, usually other than that, I'm just antagonizing Beam by asking him how Liverpool's doing or how,
Yeah, and that's on, you guys, you said it's mostly weekly podcasts. And then is that also on over the air?
No, not usually. It depends. They'll sometimes put it on in the off season, like for football. So once we get through basketball season, they may throw it on. But they usually put it on the weekends, but you can always find it wherever you get podcasts. Just search Bone and Beam United.
Yeah, okay. It's a good one.
If you like the crew and you really want to hear in-depth crew stuff, listen to this podcast first, because we
if you want to listen to dad stuff and being suffering through Manchester United with me and Trey.
Yeah,
in a way. Terrible. Then we saw him at City Tavern watching the game, and we were sharing in the suffering.
Well, so I was actually gonna turn the mic back around. Speaking of dad suffering, sounds like you guys are hurting from today's Nordeca Cup.
I just had a cramp. I don't know if you heard me yell. I kicked out. I was like, cramp now.
I know that you guys had arranged to have three of you on one team, and Haas.
No, we just arranged to not play with Haas
and have Haas on another team, planks style, if you will. So tell me how it went there in the Microdome.
It was awesome. It
was good.
So much fun. I will say the field is basically concrete. So it is nice to know where the ball's going to bounce, but are we all in just so much pain? I just took 3 ibuprofen with my whiskey. I drank
ankles, knees, lower back.
Don't crew 2 have to play on that regularly?
That's what they play on.
Well,
that's crazy.
Crew play during the off season when it's cold. I mean, it was hot.
Do they just have
air?
They have a dome, but that's not a full-time dome, right?
No, it's one of those inflatable kind of.
They hook it up to like a car air compressor, and
that's what they do.
Set it and forget it, and you guys.
No, the problem today was because the sun was out. It has to be warmer than the outside. So they were pushing in hot air so this dome will actually be inflated. So it was like 1,000 degrees in there too.
It was hot.
During warm-ups we were just sweating. I was like,
it's a hot air balloon. You're saying
Basically.
It is. It is.
Basically.
In reality, this is what it is.
Pulling back the curtain for the second time. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And so, how did you fare?
So first of all, it's randomized. So we were just lucky that 3 of us was on the same team.
Yes.
So that was kind of good for us. So we got.
There were
hang
6
out.
total teams.
Yeah, 6 total teams.
Okay.
10
2
players
groups,
per team.
Yeah, round robins, and then the 2 number 1 teams were playing the final.
Okay.
And Haas's team, they came in second in the group, so they went and played.
We played in the 3rd place match and lost.
So you got 4th place.
Yeah.
And you
podium.
all were first. Or
We
you
were-
were first in your group, and then
We were first
lost
our group, and
the
then
first
our
game,
old legs wore out,
Old
and
men.
we didn't have anything for the finals, so we got pretty handedly beat.
Did
I
you
think,
know
in the end.
anyone else playing?
Yeah, they had like Nate Carpenter was out there, so it was good to meet him. He's a longtime fan. Nate Maynard played with us. He's commented before. It's a lot of people we've played with on indoor and outdoor, just on just playing the past 10 years that we get to like actually hang out and talk to. Haas, you had Ravi on your team, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's the nicest human being.
Mars, we did have a first, and Bo, and I'm assuming you've run into this before, but we actually had people that we were walking up to the stadium. Ben and I were walking with somebody, and he just turns and goes, "Upper 90 Club guys," and I was like, "Yeah." And Ben's like, "Yeah, that's us." He goes, "I recognize your voices."
Bo never gets that, I'm sure.
It wasn't the upper 90s shirt you were wearing?
No, I didn't have it on yet. I did not have it on yet.
He's wearing his "Ask Me About My Podcast."
Yeah.
Oh, you
Which
have
is
one
also,
too?
that's just also called being a white guy of a certain age. That's
Right.
also
100%. Yeah. I want that shirt so bad. I'm actually wearing that Hail Matan shirt. I think you originally.
Oh, geez. Did you?
I made one. Oh,
Yes,
100%.
yeah.
Like as
That's
soon as I saw it, I
great.
was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's like Hail Satan." I say that all the time. Let's go. I had this made. I had a shirt made. I think I have underwear around here somewhere I made. I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, he just had one of his games where he had like a couple, like a goal or something, and I was just like, all right, this is. I saw it kind of floating around on Twitter, and I was like, all right, this is happening, and then hopped on Canva for 2 seconds, found a font, and was like, all right, and then they put it up and made my own shirt, and then I posted it on Twitter, so if people wanted it, they could have it. Yeah, but that's cool.
And I stole it, so.
Perfect. Like I said, I stole it from all the other people that were saying it. I just decided that should be on a shirt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
But yeah, Nordica Cup was awesome. So this was the 2024. It happened kind of fast, but if you're interested in this, sign up for the Nordica. They're doing another one this year when it's warmer out, and I'm assuming they'll have it on the field again, but without the dome. So
it will still be concrete, though, right?
Most definitely.
Okay.
They're actually going to play it during Sonic Temple, but in between bands. They're just out there, just get all the people out of the way and play on whatever they put down over the field.
Fury Road style. They just have like mobile half stacks and people.
I'm going with Limp Bizkit's.
If I'm going down there, at least I will have something for the pain, so that would be good.
Yeah, we left and went to the parking lot, and everybody's like waving goodbye, and I had bought beer. I was like, "There's no way I'm not drinking after this." So we just like had a beer, and all these people were like leaving. I mean, we were there for like 4 hours, and I took my Tylenol before, and like, all right, this will last 4 hours. I should be good. I looked down right before the final game, and I was like, oh no, it's 5. Like my ibuprofen stopped kicking in, and they're like, sub. And I took my first step on the field, and I felt like every joint, like, no, dude, nope. I was like, well,
I do have some questions about that. The Tylenol is acetaminophen. You should not be drinking with that. The ibuprofen, you should be fine. So
it is more of a guideline, not like a hard rule.
All right. Well, one's processed through the kidney and the other one's through the liver. So, okay.
Props for bringing the parking lot beers for tradition's sake.
So did the parking lot feel squishy under your feet while you were walking out to the car? Or?
I just surfed on my tears all the way out to the car because I was just like, it was so much pain.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations on your 2nd and 4th place finishes.
Thanks.
Let's do a quick break. When we come back, we'll do the game. and our thoughts and players. We'll be right trapped.
Attention all crew fans and book lovers. We just wrapped up The Ultimate Mystery Thriller, and Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. Who knew a whodunit could keep us on the edge of our seats like a stoppage time winner? But now we're swapping murder for real-life mayhem in Radium Girls by K.H. Moore. This gripping true story dives into the lives of the women who painted luminous watch dials, unknowingly poisoning themselves in the process. It's a tale of corporate greed, resilience, and a fight for justice that changed workplace safety forever. The new Goosebumps kit isn't the only thing that's glowing. This book hits harder than a Diego Rossi free kick. So grab a copy, crack open the spine, and join the Discordeca book club as we dive into Radium Girls. Because whether it's soccer or storytelling, we always go the full 90. Join the Discordeca server now, and let's talk crew, books, and everything in between.
All right, we're back. So let's get into the game from last night. We played New England, and for that, we'll get the summary from Trey. Was that another cramp? What was that? What did I just hear?
I missed the mute button as I was trying to cough. My bad.
Okay. All right, take it away.
Hey, what happened? Facts that could save your life.
All right. Saturday, March 1st, in the slightly hostile environment of Gillette Stadium, the crew faced off against the Fighting Revs of Caleb Porter in front of a reported 22,200.
Yeah, I was going to say slightly attended.
Divided by 10.
Divided by... That's
all right,
right.
Well, while we were lying about things, the weather was
22,000 appendages.
Yeah. All right. Well, while we're lying about things, the weather was a beautiful 72 degrees at kick and
well done.
Bright, sunny sky at 7:30 p.m. The crew again put in a statistical domination, leading in every shot category, every passing category, except accurate crosses, but this was only because they didn't attempt any. Touches in the opposition box, fouls committed, corners, and the important feels like a beautiful game, XG, with the crew leading with a blistering 0.37 to 0.23 for the Teabaggers. Haas, hit us with those lineups.
The crew lineup was the same as week one, with Jason Russell Rowe up top, Arfston, Shambo, and Rossi across the middle, Nagby, Zawadzki, Amundsen, Chaberko, Morera, and Farsi in the back with Schulte in goal, and they quickly shifted out of that formation. I don't think they're ever actually in that formation.
Right? It's not a 4-2-3-1.
They listed
it's
that way.
It's a 3-5-2.
Yeah.
Ish. But it's not a 4-2-3-1. Anyways.
So, 10th minute, Feingold for Boston earned the yellow card following a missed tackle on Rossi, resulting in him stepping on Rossi's foot, which he then managed to complain about that he got a yellow card for stomping on Rossi's foot. Didn't make any sense.
It was a yellow card.
Slow first half led us to the 45th plus 2. Boston's Ignatius Nago.
Pronunciations brought to you by the idiots of Upper 90 Club.
Earned a yellow card for nagging the ref until he had enough and said, "Get away from me." So we go into halftime, tied at 0. 51st minute, Haas.
Goal for Jason Russell Rowe. Amundsen throws the ball in from our own defensive half. The ball ends up with Zawadzki, who quickly passes forward to Shambo, who then passes the ball through the center circle to Farsi high up the pitch. He slows down as he approaches the box. Rossi makes a run through the middle. Shambo overlaps as Farsi plays a ball across the top of the box where Jason Russell Rowe has found space. He touches it with his right, quickly shoots with his left across the goal into the side netting. 0-1 crew.
And no one before that was complaining about Rossi on text messages. It wasn't me. I wasn't saying anything about that.
No,
about
Russell
Rowe.
Rowe.
Russell Rowe.
Honestly, why not?
I think it says he's not it.
Yeah, and then I was like,
and then 1 minute later,
3 minutes later,
yeah. Well, see you later.
All right, so 10 minutes later, the crew brings in AZ for the aforementioned Russell Rowe. Couldn't tell if he had an injury or what it was.
Cramp.
Okay, which makes sense. We ran on the turf today. It's the same thing.
He talked about how they've been limiting his minutes after the match.
So, I think I think it was Brianna McKay. I said
okay.
Was cramping. I have to double check that.
Yeah, she's trustworthy.
I'm saying I don't remember if it was her that I saw.
Well, I trust her, not you.
Okay.
100%. I think it was this person that said this thing. You came here for the facts, and you get the facts.
4 minutes later in the 65th, Boston with the double sub of former Columbus rejects. Sands in for Brandon Bye and Luis Diaz in for Langoni. 78th minute, Max Arfson earns a yellow for an awkward tackle on heel. This was suspect, in my opinion, as it seems that Max was reaching for the ball as Carlos tripped him. Anybody else?
Yes, that is exactly what happened. He fouled Arfston. Arfston got a yellow.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
whatever.
All right, 12 minutes later, controversial PK called in favor of the Revs. Free kick in from Schulte's left hit Chambos under his outstretched arm. Following a lengthy VAR with horrendous camera angles and an even worse explanation from the referee as his mic was not working, it was determined, I think, that they ruled the ball had hit him in the ribs and not the arm.
Yeah, it hit him in the ribs.
Those pixelized images they were using
were bad.
If only Apple didn't have really good phones with good cameras on them. But
it's an NFL stadium. How are they not equipped to put a couple of cameras?
I said, based on what we're seeing, how can they overturn this? And then they did.
And then,
but he's the guy. He's the ref that he was on Soccer Wise talking, and I really like him. And also, B, he's the guy that came out and said, like, he did not have a handball or something like that. And everyone's like, yeah. And he's like, but.
However.
Yeah, he goes, however, he was offside. And everyone's like, what the heck? And I was like, dude, this guy.
Oh, he went viral globally.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, which is fine. I didn't think it was a handball. It shouldn't have been called. Also, we were screaming this prior, but like it was a foul on Luis Diaz. Let the man dribble. Like he's just gonna dribble out of bounds.
Yeah, he's gonna dribble straight out of the end line.
Let him have it. Stop fouling him. Yeah, he's
Did
fast,
Amundsen and Diaz play together?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if they aligned.
How is no one out there
together?
Yeah, just let him run. He's just gonna run out of bounds.
Alrighty, 90+5. Zawadzki earns a yellow for a from behind tackle on Luis. Yes. And then 5 minutes later, Crew with the sub, bringing on DeJuan Jones for Chambos. I'm sure this was a
cramping
issue and not throwing him on at the end to play his former team. But
Nancy was quoted saying that he wasn't planning to bring Dujo on.
Why? Good. I mean, I'm happy that was the player that was selected. But with the 1-0 victory, Crew remains unbeaten in the last 8 meetings with Boston with 3 wins and 5 draws. On the season, the Crew improved to 2-0, remained tied for top in the East with Philly, and sits in 3rd in the Supporters' Shield standings.
Right.
Nice.
Whew. Well, they're doing it. They're finding a way
game
to do it.
Yeah.
Well, must have to be pretty.
At the kickoff, they did say it was 20 degrees and it was windy. So like
72.
Nancy said the weather was a factor.
Yeah.
In the performance there. And if you guys watch any of that Champions Cup games that were played in the cold, it was just ugly.
Brutal. Yeah. They got it done, which I think is the most important part.
He said that, didn't he say something like he thought it should have been 3? It was like a 3-0 win or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
if
if
it felt like that to him.
It felt like a 3-0 win because of the kind of occasion or the weather or whatever.
It felt like a 270-minute long game.
Yeah.
I think it was also the Dispatch article where they quoted Farsi saying that like it was so cold it was hard to like talk and communicate with the teammates on the field.
Before they subbed in, they were rubbing Vicks on the player's chest. Did you see that?
No? Was this like a fever
dream? So you guys don't like focus on the player's chest and like what they rub on it before? Interesting. I thought I didn't realize I was the only true fan of the team.
You can't mix the Vicks with the Tylenol either. So just be careful with all
That's
that.
what it was. I was like, was he rubbing on his neck?
Okay.
Let's do thoughts on players.
Yeah, let's. Why did you say it?
Thoughts and players.
So this was our second game. First game, we only made 2 subs, right? Talk about the lack of subs.
Okay, cool. I want to talk about DeJuan Jones Man, I'm having a hard time. And again, this may be congestion of like the games, and I'm super excited to see who they roll out for LAFC. I'm hoping it's like Taha and like AZ starting up top, and like
so LAFC is the game on Tuesday. That's
Correct.
a CCC game, and it is
leg one.
Is it away?
Yeah, it's away.
It is.
Yeah.
You said leg one. We're playing 2-game aggregate.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And they flew there directly from New England.
Well, they're flying home and then they're leaving from my house on a bus to LA, like they did, like inside joke from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I mean, we came out second half swinging, but I would assume around like 65, 70. I'm like, okay, cool. Like 3 subs feels about right. Like we should, bring in Dwan Jones or, AZ and that type of stuff. And like, I still rate him. I'm so confused on why we're not using him. Cause I mean, Farsi felt like he was spent. Max was 100% spent.
I think
like,
the bigger
am I taking crazy pills.
The bigger concern for me is the lack of offensive talent that you're going to be bringing off the bench. There isn't a big name. I mean, you got Russell Rose starting, who's looking atrocious. You bring in AZ. He's not a heavy hitter by any means. Then who else do you have sitting there? You have Taha sitting
How
there.
would you feel if you're Russell Rowe and you're like, I'm the new man up front, and like the coach is just like, we're going to play ugly. We're going to try and play as ugly as possible.
He passed the ball out of bounds at one point. Like,
yeah,
2 goals in 2 games.
I'm not hating the production.
Haas.
Just
That goal was
great.
The fact that he got
So
it off
sick.
that quickly, it
Outside
was
of
great.
the foot, just to like stop it to go past his body to his left foot and then bringing it across, phenomenal. Like, I mean, I could do it, but like,
And then Neil Sika talked about how good he was in MLS Next Pro for like the next 5 minutes, and that preceded your text message talking shit about him. It was great.
He's scored 2 goals. The first one, actually that was a hustle goal, right? I mean, he was kind of shutting down the. I don't remember exactly what happened. He shut down the pass, the pass up
in the box.
from the back from the goalie, right?
Yeah.
But
he did it in this game too. Like he hit, like the goalie tried to clear it and he got there.
Well, so that was good. That was good. But
Well,
like, I didn't feel good about scoring in that way, and I was kind of chalking that up to like, oh, this is a first game of the season kind of fluke goal. Then the one last night from I think a lot of that goal had to do with Farsi getting good service to him. I hear you guys saying that his finish was really good, and so because I am an influenceable person, I'm like coming around. But my first take on that was like he did what his job was. He received the pass.
Yeah.
He put the ball in the goal. Like my wife missed it, and when I was describing it to her, I said it was a standard goal. I don't know. Like it wasn't that flashy to me. I didn't see that. I mean, it was good. Like, he scored the goal, but like when I think back on the pantheon of memorable goals, like that one isn't in the top 100.
No, but it was a little bit of a Kucha goal actually. The way he kind of took it and curved it and curved it down to that corner. But in his defense, he didn't have all that much to work with, and we get it on him. And somebody that does run a lot, Rossi. I don't think he was anywhere to be found most of this game either. So we had some trouble on the offensive side for sure to a certain point.
Rossi was limping pretty early in the game.
Yeah,
I saw that too.
I mean, that early hard tackle that the guy got a yellow for, and he just continued to limp. I mean, I was surprised he didn't come off.
Yeah. But talking about a guy, he runs though. Every time he's like you said, T-Bone, in the same zip code, he will go after it and run. So
JRR did get the man of the match.
Sure.
But Farsi scored higher on Fop Mob. Yeah, I thought,
Farsi had a pretty decent game.
Yeah.
I mean, the leashes are off with Farsi. He's like trying to play as a striker half the game.
Well, it's because
he is so far up the
dropping
field.
in.
Yeah.
Like that's in possession. We have Shambo. Shambo's not a striker. I mean, I think he's playing as like a false 10. Is that even a thing?
Also, not
where he
a
like
bad
drops
game from
in.
him.
He played really well.
Yeah, he did.
But most of what the danger we're creating comes from the Farsi Morera kind of combination on the right side. It's still that, and it's right now it's very little other, not enough Arfston. I know he had probably one he wishes he got back. Right, he was just off the post, which was a really nice one.
AZ made a flash across the box, was a tap in.
And somebody talked about this. They even Ezeka even talked about it. If somebody can find a way to switch the field, and I see Arfston there with his arm stuff in the air, like, and it was the first game too, where he's standing on the side, like all the time, half the game he doesn't get the ball.
We lost that with Aiden Morris. That cross-field ball we lost with Aiden Morris. And Zawadzki can play it. I've seen him play it. But this game specifically, I would say my biggest gripe is the speed of the ball move. Like, we played in such tight spaces. Like, how many times would we after like 10 seconds of having the ball, we'd have like 4-on-4 in like a 10-yard square. And it was like, dude, get it to the other side of the field, move it. I mean, because like what we used to do is we would play it in. If you remember, Cucho would take like one touch and then blast it to the other side. That was like he would take one touch coming back if we had to break that line. If we didn't have to break that line, we would play it into Aiden. Aiden would play it out. And then they would quickly, as when they shifted, play it back to Aiden. Aiden would play it across the field. Like, we did not spread them out at all. We played such a contained. It was like when we played today, where it was 6-on-6 in a field that should have been like 3-on-3. Like, there was just no room. There was no space, and that
is a
so
good
frustrating.
take between Morris and Cucho that would love to go back and get the ball and hit those down the line a lot and chase after and maybe be the one finishing the attack. We don't really have that. We don't get the same thing with Rossi. He doesn't have that kind of
and it's a shame because I'm sitting here looking at like, I loved the way Christian Ramirez played and found space and found the game. And
Only
I wish
X's is the name of this.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, I just wish someone would like take tape. I wish I was loved is what I'm trying to get across. I'm glad all my friends are here and we can talk about it in a safe space.
All know we trying to find things to complain about. I mean, we go away. The rule of thumb is you win at home, you get some points away, and we have got a full like 3 points away, and you win ugly on the road, you take it home, and here we're trying to like nitpick, and it's a great start for us. And hopefully something will bring confidence.
We could have just as easily gotten a draw. We probably couldn't have lost the game against New England, but
no, they had 4 shots on goal.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just a lucky first couple games, like matchups.
I'll take it.
But this is what you want when we're seeking to kind of fill some of these designated player slots, and the departure of the oft mentioned former players.
And speaking of
was
X's,
unexpected,
we just beat our 2 X's.
Was unexpected. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Porter and Triple G.
Go Crew.
Yeah. So I think that we could not have hoped for a better start given the uncertainty with the lineup that we do not really expect to be the long haul lineup. Right, we got a bunch of games coming up with the 3C tournament and the regular season. We're gonna have to find a way to make that happen. We did have a signing, yes.
Oh wow! Did we ever?
Very exciting.
Yeah.
So
man, I didn't even put it in the doc.
Oh, we did.
It was a center midfielder because
we signed a free agent.
Sidic.
Yeah, right.
Yes, that's who it was.
Mm-hmm. And we immediately traded him for Gam to LA or something like that. Garber bucks.
No.
He wasn't impressed with the selection of pizzas, so he moved on.
Agree to disagree. So it's Sejic. He's 28. We got him from Nashville. He played in Atlanta before that. I don't think he's a bad player, but yeah,
I think he was a free agent.
He was a free agent.
He last played for Nashville.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, central midfielder. We don't even play with a center midfielder, so that's a thing we do.
It's about to change.
We do.
I play with 2 of them.
It's a squad filler. We have to find a way to give relief, and right now, outside of Jones.
Durjo?
We don't really have anybody to give any relief to our starters. So I don't think it's a bad thing to have that. Nagby needs breaks. Nagby, it probably needs a lot more breaks because I think his leg's going to need more rest. He already looks like he's not quite as sharp as he was, but
right. I want to say, I just want to get this on record before we move on, but I still think it would be awesome to have AZ, Russell Rowe, and Rossi up top, and then having Shambo play underneath them with Zawadzki. Have it be like a 6 and 8, and have Shambo pull the strings. I really think we're missing that top three
for the listeners.
Top three up top.
Like you can't do. Yeah.
You're missing Chase Adams in that equation.
Yeah,
Chad.
No,
hey man,
you can't. I mean, I was giving Nagby a hard time saying maybe it's not as sharp, but he plays on a level that's so far above everybody else. How many important free kicks did he get like in the end of the game too, just to kind of do his little shimmy and drop of his shoulder and just draws the man and get fouled?
It's so frustrating.
It must be so frustrating for other players, but it's fouls every time. If you look at the replay, it is a foul, but he just gets him in there. So no, I mean, it's more about getting him rest. I'm not. If he's not in the lineup, I'm not a happy man.
Okay, so before we go to our break here, I know Bone, you have to get out of here, so you're gonna miss the Run Club update, and you're gonna miss the meandering several minutes after that where we do the predictions. Then at some point, someone says something about garlic bread.
Kind of the meat and potatoes of the pod, but
yeah, it's the garlic bread. It's the garlic bread. Nice. Before we let you go, thank you for jumping on here with us and talking crew.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
also we want to get your predictions for the 2 games this week. First one's on Tuesday against LA, we said, and that is away.
10:30.
And the game next Saturday
2:30.
At 2:30. And that is that Houston?
Yes, at home.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to end it there. Bone, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll keep an eye on the Pizza Madness. Come back anytime. See you, man.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Hey everyone, Kaho's here. I'm back and happy to be back with the Upper 90 podcast to talk about the Crew 2. We are preparing for our 4th season in MLS Next Pro. Just to give a quick, update on what that's going to look like. The Crew 2 the Cappies will be on the Open Cup this year. Our first game is for the MLS Next Pro. It will be against Orlando City B on March 9th. And then our first home game will actually be for the Open Cup on March 19th against the New York Renegades. And if I remember correctly, that game will be at Lower.com Field. And it'd be really nice to have people show up. The game, unfortunately, is on a Wednesday, so I know it's hard, Wednesday at 6 p.m. But it would be really cool to see them advance and maybe take on some MLS sides and eventually win the Open Cup, go to the CONCACAF Champions Cup, win that, go to the Club World Cup. Those are my expectations for the coming season for sure. We will have a lot of new faces coming up, but a lot of our favorites are coming back, like Owen Presses, Wonder Kid, Chase Adams. Captain Gio De Libra is recovering from injury and so forth and so on. So yeah, come to games, follow the Capi Brava on social media. We're posting a lot more on Blue Sky now if you would like to join us there. And yeah, come check out the Cappies. Issa Tal has said that we are the future of the Crew, and I agree. The games are fun, they are cheap, and you can brag to your friends that you saw guys like Chase Adams before they were cool. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, we're back. Whew. Thanks, Bone.
Thanks, Bone.
Thank you.
Bone and Being United.
What an awesome guy. God.
Columbus celebrity. Columbus glitterati. Is that a term?
I spent almost as many hours listening to him over the years as listening to you guys.
Impossible.
No,
that's an opinion.
Actually. It's impossible.
Me saying impossible was that was an opinion. Yes.
Okay. But it's probably also true.
All right. Run Club. Do we have a sting for that yet?
Yeah. It's a rundown.
we're coming to town. It's a rundown. What we're gonna do is a rundown. Down, rundown. Congratulations, Run Club. We are up to 83 members.
Ooh, boy.
We got a few more in the last week. I'm gonna start keeping track so I can call out the new members. Put their names into the manosphere.
Somebody at the Sam Fahmy was like, I'm gonna join your run club. I'm like, do it, man.
Please do.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't run that much. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like,
he ran a 5K today before playing.
I know.
In
He's
Nordic
like,
Cup.
I ran a 5K today. And I was like,
the Arnold.
Join our run.
Arnold.
Oh, this is Arnold weekend?
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
All the trafficking.
Arnold weekend is my birthday week.
Trafficking weekend.
Every year.
Jeez. It's your birthday, too?
It's your birthday?
Not today, but...
Wait.
Secret birthday?
Oh, right. You are a March birthday.
Yes.
My favorite part about
Armin and
February was March. That's from my kindergartner. I have her little assignment here, but anyway, yeah, her response to my favorite part of February was, I think we all agree,
it's
March. Yeah, a fellow Martian. When is your birthday, Mort?
2 days, or March 4th.
March 4th.
And my social security number is
3, 4.
So your birthday is going to be the LAFC game.
Oh, that is
Staying
true.
up late on your birthday.
I stay up late every night.
40.
You are a night owl.
I am a night owl.
47?
No, let's
40,
not talk about age.
40.
This is age discrimination. I am in my 40s.
Age
So you're
is
49. You're 49 then.
Okay.
That's a I'm
40s.
49 answer.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Congratulations. He's turning 50. So the Run Club.
Damn it, shut
Look amazing.
F up.
The Run Club. I have a birthday this month.
We'll talk about it later.
Ben and I will be celebrating it.
Turning
in New York
younger
City.
than I am.
We will
I know
be
that.
in New York City. And we're going to hang out the New York City, the new Crew
York.
Crew York. God, boy, I had a brain fart.
We'll be seeing Refused on your birthday.
And you know how I'll be celebrating? I'll be still not 40. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the miles. Total miles this week 916.
We are so close.
916. That's a good number. Great
job.
Great job. The trick is just getting more runners. I found out.
I've been saying that since day one.
That's how math works.
It's kind of how pyramid schemes work.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
What if
They only can pay $1 to be a member.
Why are we not
I'm the
profiting
members,
off this?
and they can all pay $1.
Okay. All right.
We're also doing Tastefully Simple, and I will be sending out emails.
Club members,
Ooh,
for every
can we
mile
have a
that you
Norwex
run,
club?
donate $1 to us.
Missed it.
Okay. Shout outs, Chris, Nate, Chad, Kevin,
Dude,
all
can we
over
talk-
40. Chris S was at 60.
Over
We
40.
need to talk about. So Nate has when I say identical, I mean identical twin. Did anybody see him?
Oh, I
at
know.
the thing today?
I even kind
was
of
outside
waved
and
to
I was
him,
like-
and I was like, "Why aren't you hot? Why are you wearing your zip up?"
Yeah, I said I think I had a conversation with him, and I was like, I feel like he's never talked to me before, and I just talked to him like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, oh. And I was outside talking, and we were talking about bananas because that's what we do. And I looked up, and I was like, oh. I was like, you guys. I didn't even say you guys are twins. I was like, you guys are the same. That's how.
Okay, so when you were
That's
over
it.
pronouncing the
Idiot.
word identical, you just meant that he has a twin?
He does.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
And they are identical.
So where is...
So he's safe.
Twice as handsome.
Where is the other carpenter?
True.
Is it
Jesus?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to say,
Okay,
but then it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
I stopped myself.
4 nails. Forgiven.
Yeah. Well, 0 miles, though, Trey.
Well, keep in mind, like my
Nate,
miles, when you saw
Nate.
one set of footprints, it was actually 2 of us running.
Yeah, Nate, is your brother running mile? Is he logging miles on your thing too? Is that how you got to 96?
They share a watch. They share a watch. The watch does no difference.
We're
2
blowing
brothers,
this thing wide
1
open,
watch.
guys. This whole Nate Carpenter conspiracy. And if you're not sharing miles, where is the other carpenter? Get the other carpenter in the club. We need to get to how many? 960?
Yeah,
960.
Those carpenters.
Okay. All right. Shout out to the
Jesus
president.
and James.
The president, Stacy, ran 38 miles this week.
She's not happy about the miles she's putting in.
Okay.
I mean, we're happy with
seems
it.
like a
Who
lot,
won
though.
the club?
Yeah, who won the club?
Mars.
Because unless I think I put up 20 some.
I was at 27 and a half.
Okay.
I don't see
win.
you.
So you put out 27, Ben.
I'm still scrolling. I don't see you.
Ridiculous. Here, let me sync my watch.
Hold on. Let me see, dude.
Yeah, I don't think mine's going.
I don't know. All right, so congratulations to the entire club for figuring out how to do this basic thing that two of us cannot figure out.
That automatically happens.
Yeah, it's automatic.
I guess fake news. Also, no one got my. So I wore my Letterman jacket. Can we talk about that for a second?
Oh God,
this was at Nordica
Briefly.
Cup. Yeah.
Yes. No, I wore it way more.
Were you leaning on your Thunderbird
and smoking? Yes.
Yeah.
He was sitting
Listening to Freebird.
Yeah.
Nobody got it. Right?
I don't think they give out Letterman jackets anymore, do they?
This is
crazy.
This is like a
they do.
27-year-old joke. That's what this is.
I kept
So
saying
you
like,
wore a
what's the
jacket
joke? Is it Billy Madison?
because he played there as a junior or senior.
oh
Okay.
yeah, no, that was just. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that at the time.
Oh, okay. That's not what you were doing.
no.
So
You're
what?
just trying to
but
be
it
the
worked.
cool guy. Like, look, I played
kept
soccer
saying,
in high
like,
school.
I was like, I was I didn't play that year, but I was on the team. I just didn't play. But I was like, I was on the team and played. Yeah, no one got it. It was stupid. I haven't worn that jacket in.
I can't
at
believe
least
it
a
fit
week.
you.
I'm still the same. I mean, but the letter jackets were like huge. So
in the class, it's a classic like flex move, right? Like I'm the best.
I kept saying I was like, I'm gonna throw a football over that mountain, and like no one. But it was like all the old like refs were like, I graduated in '91 from that school, and I was like, you get it, you get it. And I gave him a wristband.
I think he was like a facilities management person.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Hey, can we give a shout out to Caleb too? We were talking about he had a goal of running a 5K, but didn't know if he could, and he just ran a 10K on his treadmill today.
Dang.
So
10K on a treadmill.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Caleb Porter?
No, Caleb S. from the Run Club.
Caleb S.
Oh, that's awesome.
So congrats, man.
10K on treadmills.
Yeah, it takes mental
treadmill,
and intestinal fortitude.
You know, a 10K on a treadmill, that's like running 20K on the pavement.
I have spent more. I have run more miles on a treadmill in the last 2 months than I have in my entire life.
It's.
But it got 50. It's 50 degrees. Trey's done.
I think we've hit our 10%.
Okay. All right. We got 50 degrees here on Friday. I ran outside. Let's move on. Let's get on to the
tables. Just tables. 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 I can't know how to hear any more about tables.
All right. In the Eastern Conference, we've got Philadelphia in first place with 6 points. Your Columbus Crew in second place, also with 6 points. Just behind on goal differential. Then Charlotte with 4. Red Bull with 3. Orlando 3. Atlanta 3. Cincinnati 3. DC 2 and Miami. This is before tonight's game that I clipped this. So they now have 4. So Miami's further up.
Still not going to make the playoffs, am I right?
Supporter Shield. There are 4 teams in the league with 6 points. Philadelphia, San Jose, Columbus, and LAFC.
Nice.
We'll leave it at that.
San Jose. I mean, it's early in the season. That's all I have to say. But
I wouldn't even say that. Have you seen their team? It's a complete overhaul. It's a great team.
Not to talk about the coach.
6 goals, 1 against for San Jose.
Yeah, no, they're good. And Philly was beat the crap out of Cincy. Well, I guess it ended up being 4-2. But that Barabos guy has
4-1.
He has 5 goals in 2 games.
Yeah,
he's a problem.
And he had one called back in that game. Like there was an offside goal that he There was an offside goal that happened that was called offside and then determined to not be offside. And then there was another one that was actually offside. So he scored 4 in that game.
Thanks.
1 called back. I just watched those highlights.
Interesting. Good to see Cincy lose. And always lost. Idiots. Ooh. Man, yeah. I feel like we were complaining kind of a lot, but we're 2-0 and 1 home game, 1 away game. Like, that's great. I think I heard something on the pod. It was like, or not pod, on the game where it was like we were like 6 wins and 8 away games or something kind of crazy. Like, I just remember back where we just like could not get a result away to save our life, and it's like
there's been one of Nancy's focus has been be more nasty away and get those points.
Ugly at home, nasty away.
Yep.
I think it's the first time we've opened with 6 points in our first 2 games in a handful of years. I saw that somewhere, and I did not clip the information.
Yeah.
Brianna McKay, thank you.
This is Steve Cirque, and this is Cirkstat.
Any Cirkstat? There were
no
I
stats.
checked.
Well,
he had a post about San Jose.
Oh, okay.
Or about San Diego.
Yeah, about San Diego. I will say he has pretty well stopped posting on X, and he is full-time Blue Sky. So if you need that, like we need that, he's on Blue Sky. He's not on, because I logged on to Twitter before, and I was like, oh, cool. He hasn't posted in like months. So
did you guys know that I'm on X? Did you guys know that?
I did.
Can I tell you something? So you all know I'm old. So
not 40.
Not 40.
I joined Twitter like in October of 2024.
It's like you would buy a Tesla
that
now.
long. It took that long to do it, and I was on here like, I'm on X, guys. I'm on X. And then like as soon as I came, everyone was like, no, and I'm
No.
like, I was on long enough to see Morgan do his stream of tweets where he used his Halloween skeleton as Rudy Camacho after he got knocked out.
Great.
That was, I think, when Twitter peaked for me. It's been a dark place, but I can't go to Blue Sky. I mean, I'm an old dog, like it took me that long. I'll be on Blue Sky right before
they
the Nazis take it over.
Yeah. And it's Soviet Russia, USSR. Cool.
Right after
great.
you sell your Tesla.
Yeah. I do not have a Tesla.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure you don't.
You sold the car but got the truck. It's like, that's a bad call.
Yeah. Anyway, so I feel like I
Swastika.
want to know what's going on in the Blue Sky, but I'm just in the swill and
It's a lot of the same as Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For the most part.
If you can do one, you can do the other. I'm pretty sure you can handle it.
All right. Well,
I'll
I can
make
just
you-
never
I'll make you
remember
an
my
account.
password, Okay, so
40.
what are we doing here? Oh, we need to do our predictions tables next. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not much to talk about. Like most, except for I think maybe 2 people between Instagram and Blue Sky was guessing that we would win 1-0. Nobody here was guessing that. So
Almost.
Almost. I
everybo-
did. I mentioned it. I
I
mentioned
know.
it.
Oh yeah, you did mention it.
Should count for
Talk about it
something,
one
right?
time.
We want win 1 game this year, 1-0. I bet you said that too.
No.
But it means everybody got 1 point because everybody believed we would win, but with all kinds of different scores. So that makes the table be exactly the same with Ben and Haas in the lead, and then with Mars and Mort, and then Trey also in the lead. But I have to mention him last because he was
Right.
last.
Oh,
Because he
wow. I
left.
forgot.
Nice. Trey's
Trey's the new Haas.
Yeah. Wow.
Orange is the new Trey.
So there
And
we
we're
got that.
shouting out Jason Ashworth
Orange is the Haas
on
hair.
Blue
and
Sky.
your boy Wong.
I had to put that in. He's my new
Your boy
favorite
Wong on
person.
Instagram and Jason Ashworth. I don't know if that's Twitter or Blue Sky, but nonetheless, 2 fans got the scores right.
Dude, your boy
Good job.
Wong
Score,
is the
right.
best name. I love it so much.
Are we doing some kind of giveaway?
Most definitely.
Yes.
We're gonna give something away.
No, we are giving away the glasses.
But we're flirting with a long play where. Go ahead, Mort.
Yes, I am looking at a solution because tracking this, since you guys all like us so much, we get a lot of people responding to our prediction between, Instagram,
Twitter,
Blue Sky.
There was a lot.
X.
There was like 6.
So it's hard for us to keep count, and I like some of you actually calling us out and saying, "Got it." That makes it easier for us. But I will look into a solution that we might go to a thing where you have to kind of sign up and sign in or something like that, so we can track it every week, so we can have a season-long competition too, and we'll see if we can come up with a solution, maybe with supporter supply. Thank you, Morgan. Maybe and
that's so we don't have to track it. A computer tracks it.
A computer will track it because AI.
Elon Musk
in the computer.
And then I cancel my own job, and then I will be out of podcasting because AI took over for me.
Yeah. It's called, you just go to pyramidscheme.com and
it's your boy Wang.pyramid.musk.
We're gonna have everybody pay $1 to enter, and if you recruit somebody else to be a part of the predictions, they will pay you $1, and then you pass 50 cents on to off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
okay, I love that. I love that. We're gonna give something away. It may be all of your personal information.
It absolutely will be.
So keep the predictions coming. We'll figure something out. And then maybe we should give away like a large pizza to the winner of the pizza madness.
The challenge.
Yeah.
For the three correct one, you still get the bourbon glasses.
Yeah.
So
you hear that? I'm drinking out of one right now.
Oh yeah, look at that. I have one right here too.
Okay. All right.
I don't have one. Right here.
I see that you have it straight up, so I cannot hear it. But let's do our predictions. Are you guys ready? All right, let's talk about D's next.
I don't know. I thought I
You got to think about that.
I'm already sweating.
Man, I don't even know. Like,
buckle up, Buttercup.
My tongue is sweating.
I'm not good at doing things.
You're dumb.
Okay, Ben, you said
mine didn't go. There we go.
2-0.
Oh wow!
Lost the loss, boss Randy Moss is we lose, right?
Most
we lose
definitely.
2-0. Okay.
Holy moly, guys!
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think.
Mort says 2-1. Give LA the hope, then be crushed. I assume we'll see.
Wait, is 2-1 we win?
It means we're gonna lose.
No,
I do this right. Hey, first of all, people,
I made
everywhere,
one mistake. Okay.
If you want to get me triggered, I was triggered. We put our predictions in an order.
For new listeners, this
home field first.
For new
home field
listeners.
first. Yeah. So Mort says 2-1. That means the crew lose.
Yes,
by
that
one
is
goal.
correct.
Why do you hate the crew, Mort?
I don't hate the crew, but I hate
nag
LA.
me.
So now they're gonna be thinking, hey, we're gonna win this, and then they're gonna come here and they're gonna be like, no,
We have a great
I see what you're saying.
record against LA in the last
You just hate the
3
crew.
matchups.
We do.
Trey, you said 2-1. LA gonna win.
Yep.
Hawes, you say 1-0 LA. I'm
You
the
know,
only
LA actually has a roster to move players from the bench into starting positions.
But we got a Rossi.
We've got like 18 players on the team. So
Okay.
I said 2-2. I'm the only one who predicted a non-loss result in this first leg.
because you're like Switzerland of predictions.
We'll see. We'll talk about it next week. Okay. Are we ready to predict the Houston match? That's
No, this is the
at
real
home?
one. This one
This
counts.
is on Saturday afternoon.
Hold on. Let's see.
What are you doing at 2:30 on Saturday afternoon?
Dentist.
The score is going to be...
You're dumb.
Ben, you said... God, everyone said this except for Mort.
That's what I... Yeah.
Ben, you said
Ridiculous.
2-0 crew do.
Oh, yeah.
Trey, you said 0-2 crew. We know that you meant 2-0 crew. You just forgot it was a home game.
classic mistake. that I had last
Classic.
week.
Classic. Our new listeners, we do the home score first. New listeners since the last time I said it 45 seconds ago. And let's see who's next. Trey. Oh, Mort. I skipped Mort. 3-1 crew.
Yeah.
Arthur.
I don't be like.
Who's Arthur?
The honorary.
Who's Arthur?
Like
Arthur
Okay, I'm sorry.
Animal guy.
That's European spelling. It's the British
blaming
spelling.
on the Europeans. You know, when I was in school, whenever I would get in trouble, I'd say I have diabetes, and the teachers would say like, "Okay, all right, don't say anything more. Don't say anything more. You're fine.
That's how you got your job. It's like it says here you worked at wait, hold on. It says here you have diabetes. You're like, yeah. They're like,
yeah. So I'm feeling the same kind of energy from you, Mort. Like,
yes.
You know, anytime you make a mistake, you're just like Europe. My W's are V's. My W's are V's. Okay. All right.
Colors with a U.
Okay.
Artur with the honorary goal. I like him to, come home and feel a little bit of good vibes while he's here. But he will still be crook.
I'm going to see if there's a guy named with Arthur on the team.
I just heard you say, hold on, but I do want to just try and wrap my mind around the fact that you typed Arthur, but you said Artur, but then you said honorary. So it's like you took the H from Arthur and you put it at the beginning of honorary. All right, moving on. I also said 2-0 crew actually do it this time. I said 2-0 last week. That was a 2-0 performance, if I'm being honest, in New England. But
no.
3-0 according to Nancy.
Yep, not 3-0. You were wrong. Okay. But Nancy said if you actually predicted 3-0, we were giving you the points because
Nancy said that. That's just an opinion. Okay. Yeah. I think we're good. The only thing left to do is mention that garlic bread that
I also said 2-0.
Oh, I didn't even say your score. Hold on. Let me leave that in. Leave that in. Haas, I forgot Haas. Haas also said, we all said 2-0. Mort said something about Arthur, the cartoon. It's 3-1.
They have nobody named Arthur first or last name on the team. Yep. I was hoping so bad it was like Arthur like Pendragon or something.
I will
like that.
say
He's
this:
like
Finn loves the cartoon, and many times he asks, "Can we watch one episode before I go to bed?" Still,
Arthur,
and he is getting to this age where that's kind of like
he's 21.
The little child in him. He's 10, so his little child in him wants to kind of watch some of these things sometimes. Yeah. It's cute. So I was like, you can watch.
Arthur's last name is Reed.
So first you blamed Europe, and now you're blaming your son.
Anybody but me. You know what?
I had one of those. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Hold on,
I know exactly what you're saying.
The people so his name's Arthur Reed. Not great. Another guy in it's name's Binky Barnes. Yeah, and the girl's name is Muffy Crosswire. And the rabbit's name is Buster Baxter.
Yeah.
This is the funniest. Am I the only one that thinks this is funny? Muffy Crosswire? That is 100% my new name. I'm going to type this in. Muffy Crosswire.
Okay. All right.
Taking away Professor Butter.
And with that, we have a 2-game week. So you guys will probably
2 more next week.
Okay. All right.
Are we playing LA at home the following week?
Yeah, we must.
Oh, God. Did you guys opt in?
I accidentally did not opt out. But the first one's included with season tickets. It's if we make it past LA is where you have to start paying.
Got it. Is that Tuesday as well?
Correct.
And
the 11th.
Does anybody? I kind of want to look this up. Does LA play away this weekend?
I hope so.
They've been kind of lined up with a lot of home games, I noticed, but I think they might be playing away this weekend.
So they play us at home, and then they go to Seattle on Saturday, and they go from Seattle to Columbus on Tuesday. All right, so that's a travel.
Okay.
Yep, points.
All right, sounds good. We'll talk about it in a week. Until then, go Crew.
Europe!
Thanks everyone for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew!
You're going to Pionix?
I was gonna make that joke.
Yeah!
I was gonna say Phoenix.
I thought you were going to Houston.
Houston.